What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with another fantasy football profile. Please hit that subscribe button. I have a ton of these on the channel, a ton of redraft content, a ton of dynasty content. Hit that like button and put your comments down below. Really helps me out, and I respond to all comments. Helps out the algorithm a ton. Let's talk Elijah Mitchell. Okay, so Elijah Mitchell finished as RB26, averaging 13.4 points per game in 2021, and he did that in only 11 games. Had 207 rushes for 963 yards, 5 touchdowns, averaged 4.7 yards per attempt as a rookie, and had 19 receptions for 137 yards and 1 receiving touchdown. Averaged 18.8 attempts per game. That's the thing to point out as a rookie in the 11 games he did play, which is an absolute ton of volume. He is an explosive runner. If you look at his pro day too, he had a 4.38 and a 37.5-inch vertical with a 128-inch broad jump. Those are very explosive numbers. And Kyle Shanahan, if you're the running back in Kyle Shanahan's system, you are going to be very successful for fantasy. We've seen that time and time again with Devonta Freeman back in Atlanta, with Raheem Mostert in San Francisco. Obviously, a lot of these guys have struggled with injuries, but if you can stay healthy, you're going to be very productive for fantasy. I think that's going to be the biggest X factor for Elijah Mitchell this season is his health. I think the 49ers could even run the ball more in 2021 with Trey Lance likely to be the starting quarterback. I think they're going to lean on the running game a lot to take some of the pressure off of him. And I do think Elijah Mitchell is going to be the featured back. The one thing that you have to point out with Mitchell is that they did draft Ty Davis Prince from LSU in the third round at running back this year. They drafted Trey Sermon, obviously, the year previously in the third round. But I do believe that Kyle Shanahan is going to play the guy that he believes is the best player. He showed that last year by benching Sermon to play Mitchell when Sermon had a lot more draft capital. I think he'll continue to do that. I think he trusts Elijah Mitchell, so I do think he is likely to be the guy. And as long as he's efficient, which I think he will be, he'll keep that job and healthy. The thing that worries me is he is a 200-pound running back. Will he be able to sustain a massive workload? That's the thing that stopped me from projecting him for 250, 270 carries or something like that this year and having him finish as a top 12 RB. I think he could absolutely do that because his ceiling is extremely high. He's one of the biggest X factors in fantasy. If he can stay healthy throughout the entire season, I think he finishes with 250 plus carries, 40 receptions, and is easily an RB1 with the production that he'll have behind that offensive line, that offense, and that role. By the way, they have the 14th ranked offensive line according to Pro Football Focus, and that scheme really does just open things up for the back. I have him projected for 2022 for 220 plus carries, 30 plus receptions, 1,200 plus yards, and 8 plus touchdowns. That's the only other thing about Elijah Mitchell. He wasn't utilized a ton around the goal line, didn't have a ton of carries down there. I think that might limit his upside, but I think he has that home run hitter ability to get his touchdowns on his own. And it's not like he won't, get the ball around the 20-yard line or something like that. I just don't know if he will necessarily be the goal line back for the 49ers, but you can still, with the volume he gets, he'll be extremely valuable for fantasy. And like I said, I think he's one of the biggest X factors in fantasy football this season. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. This has been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys for watching.